Welcome, everybody. We are going to do a Mercury retrograde reading, Libra. The retrograde starts on the 4th or the 5th, depending on whatever. So if you're wondering when it starts. Libra, you have this slow card. It says making slow progress, but you're getting there. Great is all I have to say about that. Mercury retrograde. Of course, Mercury retrograde is a perfect time to just take your sweet ass time doing whatever you want to do. So I wouldn't rush anything or rush into anything. I think this is saying, slow and steady definitely wins the race this month. And, take your time. It's like you're clearly, whatever you're working towards or working on is perfectly fine. You have the Page of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Lovers. The Page of Wands is about going on some sort of adventure or following your enthusiasm. I always say, really, he's enthusiastic about a direction in his life, and that's it. He just gets excited about something, so he starts working his way towards it, or he goes on the adventure to go towards something that he's enthusiastic about. You have the Five of Swords and the Lovers as well. And the Five of Swords can represent, winning at all cost, or can represent a separation. But really, with the Page of Wands here, the Five of Swords would represent taking a risk. So I think that some of you are about to take some sort of risk in your life, or there is a risk that you're about to take, especially, again, with this Five of Swords. I feel like this is something that you're doing again. Since we're all about theories today, there are three guys on this card, and there is a theory that all three of those guys are exactly the same person. So it basically just represents the three stages that this guy has gone through to become a winner, right? He has won, and he has won at all cost. But you could say that, those are three stages that he has had to go through in his life to become a winner. It's like at first he had to lose, then he had to learn how to deal with loss, and because of that, now he's winning. And I feel for a lot of you that you are about to repeat something during this retrograde, but it will probably be a good thing for you, not a bad thing. So again, I'm not saying you're going back to an ex or anything like that, but again, you could be trying love again, or you could just be revisiting something that you've tried to do in the past, and you could just be redoing it again. And like I said, it might not be exactly the same thing you did last time, but it might be very similar. Like I said, if it's love, I feel like it's a new person, but you're trying love again. If it's business, you probably already had a business, and now you're starting something new, and you're just trying something new again. So that's kind of the feeling I get from your reading. It's pretty pretty basic, pretty simple, Libra. Take the risk here, Libra. You have the Fool. So the Fool says take the leap of faith, especially if you're thinking about taking a risk to revisit something or reinvent something. Again, I think reinvention is probably the best word for Mercury retrograde. So if you want to do something again, like let's say you had a business that failed and you want to try it again, I would see how can you reinvent it, or how can you amplify it and make it better in some way. And I feel like that's what this the Fool card is actually saying. The Fool also can represent repeating something. He has these tattered sleeves on his cloak here, and the tattered sleeves kind of say that he has been on this journey before. He has done something before, and he's about to do it again. So like I said, another clue that you're about to go on something like a very exciting journey. Another clue, you have the Judgment card. So the Judgment card can also say that you are going to be revisiting something or rebirthing something. Part of rebirthing something is reinventing it. So it's funny that I said that on the Fool card. I think that if you are reinventing something, it's a really good time to do that, especially if it's like a project, a business. It could be yourself as well. The whole point of the Judgment card is that they're rising up out of these coffins, and the coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. So we have to step into a new reality for Judgment to be effective, as far as a tarot card is concerned. And I feel a lot of you could be kind of jumping into some sort of new reality, or you could be, it's like there might be things you have to leave behind, or there might be like old attachments that you have to leave behind. And you are being called to do that at this time with the Judgment card for sure. With the Lovers, you have the Four of Pentacles. Again, Four of Pentacles is stability. It can represent holding on too tightly to the past. Again, I actually don't feel too bad about this for you either. I think someone else just had this card and I wasn't feeling all that bad about it. So again, I feel pretty good about this. I think you are just kind of like stabilizing yourself in your life. You could also be stabilizing your finances. Now that I think about it, all your readings, Libra, kind of have a central focus that are all about being resourceful. And the Four of Pentacles definitely would be kind of resourceful, or is a card kind of resourcefulness. So it might be a good time for you to just be resourceful. But that looks really good. So thank you, Libra. We'll do a collective as well. So collective, let's see what we get for you, collective people. Let's see, collective. So for the collective, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. For the collective, we have this workaholic card. It says having a strong work ethic and giving it 110% all of the time. It says hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I actually feel like everybody in the collective is going to be feeling very motivated. So again, it could be one of those retrogrades where people really feel more motivated, more energetic, not the other way around. I would say that I do think it's a good time to practice taking a rest or getting rest or taking a break. We have Mars going retrograde at the end of the year, pretty much in the same area of the sky in Leo. This Mercury retrograde's in Leo, and also Mars going retrograde in Leo at the end of the year. And so I kind of feel it's like a little bit of practice for when we get there. Leo is kind of like our life force, our vitality. And so when Mars goes retrograde there, you're going to want to have energy saved up. So if you feel like working, work. If you feel like resting and sleeping, rest and sleep. Like practice collecting your energy so that when we get to the end of the year, you have more than enough energy to get through the end of the year. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. Queen of Pentacles is a card of resourcefulness. I think that it's a good idea for everyone to practice resourcefulness at this time. We are literally in a time of resourcefulness. Why do you think all this weird stuff is happening with money and all that other stuff? So Queen of Pentacles doesn't say don't spend money. She just says, be resourceful. If you can do something for cheaper, or, if you can get things on sale, or if you can find a better way to make money, or any of that, that's what I would be looking for. And that's what I would be studying with the Queen of Pentacles. Collective has the Seven of Cups as well. Big dreams at this time. We have Neptune and Pisces. We also have Saturn and Pisces. So Neptune and Pisces is your crazy ass idea. Saturn and Pisces says get your ass moving. And if you actually start working on that crazy idea, then you might just create whatever it is. So I think we are in a time of big dreams. Neptune's going retrograde as well. It is, and Saturn. And so, again, I think that now is the perfect time with Neptune going retrograde to kind of like take that crazy idea and ground it in reality. When you think about it, when it's moving forward, being on Neptune would be like being under 100 hurricanes going 10,000 miles an hour with, high seas, waves, 200 feet tall, the craziest thing you could possibly imagine, right? So now that Neptune is going retrograde, it's kind of like calming down. And now is the time where we could manifest our wildest dreams if we put the work in. So I would make sure to put the work in with that Seven of Cups. You have the Eight of Wands collective. And let me just do this real quick. The Eight of Wands is quick success or a quick conclusion. The Eight of Wands is also good news. But also remember what I said earlier about the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is like the slip and slide of life. We have to, and I think this is what everybody should be doing until like 2033. So, almost the next 10 years. I think we all need to be paying very close attention to what causes friction, and we need to pay very close attention to what removes friction from our life and speeds things up. As long as we double down on those things that speed things up or make things more efficient, we will be like 30 times more successful than we normally would be. So make sure you're paying attention. With the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Hierophant. Yeah, love is changing. So I think that for those of you that want love or marriage, love is changing. I also feel that this could be the opportunity for blessings. He is blessing these two people in front of him here. So I really do feel that there could be like a really solid opportunity to receive some blessings in your life. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Two of Cups. I think people need to like stop dreaming about relationships at this time as well. So Neptune going retrograde is great because it's like part of my problem with Neptune, especially in Pisces, is it's like the fantasy. It's just mental masturbation, basically. It's like the fantasy feels better than the reality, or actually, you don't know. Because what happens with Neptune and Pisces with relationships is like we get into a relationship, but maybe we just are like talking to the person, right? Or maybe we are just texting the person, and we develop this fantasy around the connection. So the fantasy, we kind of don't want to lose the fantasy, so then we never make it a reality. And right now, with Neptune going retrograde, it's time to, make that fantasy a reality. This could be love, but the Two of Cups could also just be something that you will love in your life. It could, Two of Cups can be you and your higher self, and your higher self is trying to communicate with you, which showed up like 20 times today in all the readings, right? So clearly it's a very spiritual time, and Mercury retrograde can be very spiritual. So I think we have to, if our higher self is telling us to do something, we need to like manifest whatever that is down on earth. With the Eight of Wands, you also have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles says get to work. Eight of Pentacles is, what's more important than that, though, what I really want to say here, collective, is that Eight of Pentacles is about looking at your work. It's about seeing how much work you have already done. It's about looking at what you have already accomplished and putting that into perspective. Sometimes I think we need to back up and look at everything that we've accomplished, because then it makes the next thing we're about to do 20 times easier. Because if you're too focused on work, you're not seeing that what you're about to do could be easier, and I feel like this is saying, it's like you already have all this knowledge and wisdom, which came up a lot during these readings, and now by putting things into work or putting things into practice, you'll be able to accomplish something, the next thing much easier or faster or whatever. So there you go. So thank you, and definitely enjoy the rest of your weekend.